From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a great Sunday morning with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. In today's recording, we go over the breaking news that is absolutely incredible. First, legislators write the president saying they're putting multiple stimulus checks in there. Then other legislators step forward and say, call the vote. And then other legislators write Nancy and Chuck and say, what are we waiting for? Call the vote now. I have all the incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check, that monthly stimulus check in this recording. Then in the second half of this recording, we go over fifth stimulus. That'll raise your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, and survivor benefits. It's all incredible great news. And a new benchmark could absolutely change your life. I have all the breaking developing details on that as well. And then in the middle of this recording, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars is landing directly for you locally and also in your mailbox. I'll go over how you can get this money and how you don't want to miss when this money lands. It's a great Sunday morning. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here. Let's get to it. This is a great morning, a Sunday morning here on Mornings LALATE. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? It's Sunday morning, and boy, look at all this incredible great news. Letter after letter to the speaker, to the president, talking about multiple stimulus checks. I have all the breaking news in this recording about the fourth stimulus check. First, we'll go over how much you're going to get and when you're going to get it. Then we'll go over the breaking news that is changing the entire game, pushing it to the finish line. In the second half of this recording, we're going to go over fifth stimulus, the big money land in your bank account, and they'll change your lifetime, especially with this new benchmark. And then in the middle of this recording, tens of thousands of dollars available for you and landing in the mailbox. I don't want you to miss those checks. This is Mornings LALATE, and this is LALATE, the only 24-hour day, 7 days a week, financial news channel. Live in the morning like right now, and then taped in the afternoon. I'm next with you live 30 minutes after this with Mornings Crypto, that new hit show. And then at 11 a.m. with Noontime LALATE, home LALATE. So join me then. How's the weather meantime where you are? It is sunny, as you can see right now. It is sunny here in Los Angeles. Not particularly hot, but it's still early. So let's see how it unfolds. And a little bit of wind, which is wonderful because it always keeps it cool. So tell me where you're tuning in from and how's the weather where you are right now. Also subscribe. 400,000 subscribers in 1 year, a YouTube record. Next step, 1 million. Get us to there ASAP. Also like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. You're going to see later in this video why it's important to become a member. That gives you the PDFs of what's in these bills. Let's turn first to those fourth stimulus checks and understand the differences and how much you're going to get. There are two items at issue with the fourth stimulus checks, the House and the Senate. The House bill was written by Jalapal, and that House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year and continuing thereafter and continuing out the door. So let's go over why the House proposal is slightly different than the Senate proposal, and let's compare and contrast which one is better. So again, the Jalapal House bill provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic monthly, plus 1 year thereafter. The Senate proposal provides a stimulus check from July to December. If you're in the live chat just after 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 12 noon on the East Coast, get ready to vote, House or Senate, but not just yet, because there's a lot of breaking news, and I want you to see the numbers. So what is the monthly amount? The House proposal, the House bill from Jalapal, is $1,000 a month after the first month of $2,000. The Senate amount is unknown, but word on the street is it's this. Yes, wow. So that's a Senate proposals for an individual, $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. Wow. Or $1,400 over 6 months, $8,400. So which one makes more sense, House or Senate? Let's go back to why Jalapal's bill gets a new wrinkle. The wrinkle is the pandemic part of the bill. Pandemic plus 1 year. There's new thoughts that potentially the pandemic could be over for legislative purposes by the time the vote happens in the House. If that's the case, then Jalapal's bill would provide stimulus checks of 1 year, not pandemic plus 1 year. And under Jalapal's bill, 1 year stimulus checks is $13,000 compared to the Senate plan, which could potentially provide the same amount in just half the amount of time. Oh, wow. So if you're in the live chat or watching this tape, vote right now. Senate versus House, which one do you like? Senate versus House, love to hear your comments. All right, let's get to the other great details about what's in the fourth stimulus check. So who gets it? You do. If you got the third stimulus check, you get the fourth stimulus check. If you make less than $75,000, you get the fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. Just double it. Household 4 or less, you get the fourth stimulus check. So yes, if you're the Brady Bunch, 2 of you are not going to get a check. Sorry, Jan and Marcia. And then if you're on SSI and SSDI, Social Security and Railroad benefits, you get the fourth stimulus check. Also veterans. Yeah, so very exciting, great news. Is there a different stimulus check amount for adult dependents and minor children? No. So everyone gets the same check. Great. So it's the same amount for adult dependents, minor dependents, everyone else. Is it taken out for child support? We don't know just yet. And when would it land? Remember, I'm just a reporter. I report the news. I don't make representations. The legislators do. And their representation is the vote would occur by July 4th. That means that the first stimulus check would land in the month of July, for the month of July. In the month of August, for the month of August. There would be no waves of stimulus checks where a check comes at a different time of the month for a different person. They don't have time to do that. This is going by a two-step, 2-month process called reconciliation. It's currently nearly finished with the drafting. And more about why that's very important and the word Jalapal, the name Jalapal, coming up in just a second. And you're going to see all this incredible great news that's just breaking that is changing the microcosm of the fourth stimulus checks. But I have all those details coming up in just a second. First, I want to give you a preview of the second half of this recording. The second half of this recording is going to go over the fifth stimulus and that incredible lift of your benefits lifetime. That is a first lift that if you're, and who is you? If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivors benefits, or multiple benefits, lifted up once, then applying a benchmark. And that benchmark could be a major game changer for your life. I have all those incredible details coming up in the second half of this recording. But get a pen and paper ready because this is a 30-minute recording and I got a lot of money to get you in this video. A lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars. I don't want you to miss any of this money and stay with me to the very end because I got a big surprise for you about something that's in potentially the fourth stimulus. A big surprise that no one saw coming back. Oh boy, it's not Mr. Carter though. You do not welcome back Mr. Carter. That's not what's coming back. All right, and so now let's cut to the big money that is available for you. When third stimulus passed, I informed you that there would be $5,000 to $25,000 of money available for you in addition to that third stimulus check of $1,400. Well, now it's here. Great news. The $350 billion is now landing in your city, county, and state last week and next week. And what is it? I'm going to go over it right now. First is rent, about $5,000 for you. 46 months of 46 months of rent for about $5,000. Then money for utilities, a couple hundred, a couple thousand. Money for homeowners' mortgage, and then money for homeowners' utilities. Wow, incredible, great news. So it's going to be in 6 locations for you to get. So get that pen and paper ready. Here we go. 6 different locations. I wanted you to reach out to each of them to get it, and here they are. City Hall, City Housing Authority. County Hall, County Housing Authority. State Hall, State Housing Authority. The word you're going to use is rent assistance because of COVID. You don't use the word stimulus at all. You could use the word Biden Economic Recovery Act. Again, each of those locations have different qualifications. So you may get a no in one location, but a yes somewhere else. And they have their own pot of money. So reach out to them. That's about $5,000 for rent, 4 to 6 months. Incredible, great news. And it's the biggest payout of the third stimulus, which I want you to get. But there's something else I want you to get, and it's SNAP. I don't go a single day without a viewer dropping in the comments of a live chat or a private message saying thank you because of your videos. I got rent or SNAP. What is SNAP? It is money for food. How do you get it? Reach out to Department of Agriculture. They administer it. Or if you want to get connected to Department of Agriculture, call 211. So how much money is SNAP? It's a fortune. It's about $16,000 for a family of four in Hawaii. Why so much? That $16,000 over a year is because of two executive orders, which now raises everyone's benefits on SNAP 15% from January to December. It's a Biden and a Trump executive order which raises 15%. So incredible, great news. Go get that SNAP. $16,000 for SNAP in Hawaii. $5,000 for rent across the board. Wow, we're doing really well. We're 10 minutes into this video. Incredible, great news. But that brings me to the exciting, great news of big money that is coming automatically to you, and it's coming in two different locations. And for the first time on LALATE today, I'm going to go over the importance of not missing this check. Because we did this, we've done this before, where I've covered don't miss the check. I don't want you to throw away the check. Imagine this time I'm warning you about throwing away $2,000 or $3,000 checks. Yeah, now it's even more significant to not throw away a check. All right, the first one is coming back from your state. I'm going to go over how much it is, what it is. Then we're going to go over how you get it, and then finally when you're getting it. All right, incredible, great news. Your state is returning back to you the excess unemployment benefits they paid you to no fault of your own due to computer malfeasance. What's going on here? So the federal government has stepped in and said states had overpaid you unemployment benefits at some time, in some cases due to computer malfeasance, and then asked you to return it back to them, and you did. Well, guess what? The federal government has now stepped in and said states should not have ordered you to return that money back to them. That was a mistake. And now the states have been ordered to return that money back to you. One viewer is getting $5,000. Incredible, great news. So then how is it going to come? It will come in the manner in which they normally send your benefits out. So if it was by a debit card or if it's to your bank account, that's how it's coming. Finally, when? Every state is different. So there's different routing times. Reach out to your respective state to see the routing times. All right, guess what? I got other money for you, and this one is also really exciting. One viewer got $5,000 from the state, and another viewer is got $2,000 from this one. And which one is this from? The federal government, IRS, Treasury. So first, let's go over how much it is, then how you're going to get it, and that's very important. For the first time, I'm going to go over, it's important to see this one, how you get it, and then finally, when you get it. All right, first, how much is it? It's a fortune. It is the portion of the taxes you pay to IRS for your unemployment benefits. Here's an example. If you had $9,000 of unemployment benefits, you filed a 2020 return, and you paid a total tax bill of $5,000, $4,000 of which was your taxes on unemployment, you're getting back $4,000. Yes, IRS is returning back the portion of the taxes you paid on the unemployment benefits on your 2020 tax return. Great, great news. Next, how? And this is where I'm delivering a new message for you just for the first time in this recording. It is in the mailbox, but boy, I want you to be very careful. And while I've described to you the envelope, I want to be very careful with you about this envelope. It's either a beige envelope or a white envelope. Inside is a beige check from the Department of Treasury, or IRS, written to you. Now, what's very, very important is if you do not normally get these checks from IRS and have never seen what these checks look like, they are razor thin envelopes. They are very, very easy to lose or discard or not catch them in the mail. For example, if you have one of those mail carrier deliveries that sort of slides checks between throwaway restaurant takeout orders and things like that, or sales at the supermarket, you could totally miss this check. So be very careful looking through the mail between now and the end of May. Why? Because guess what? I'm going to go over the routing times now, and all the checks are being delivered by the end of the May. The only people that are not getting it in the mail are people who have direct deposit set up on account for their IRS. So phase one was already delivered. Phase two is now underway, and phase three is the end of this week. So all three phases will be delivered by the end of May. What's phase one? Single filers, non-complex returns, no dependents, no refunds elsewhere on the return. Phase two are complex individual returns, and phase three are joint filers. All right, so that incredible, great news. And with that, it's time for some really jaw-dropping. I mean, it just makes your jaw drop. Exciting, great news about the monthly for stimulus checks. Letter after letter. Writing after writing, and I'm going to go over all the breaking details, including what the president said and what the legislators saying. I'm going to go chronologically over them, starting with Talabal. So what I explained to you earlier in this recording is that when we looked at the House bill, Jalabal wrote the House bill, that monthly stimulus check that provides a stimulus check for the remainder of the pandemic plus 1 year, $1,000 a month after the first month. Well, guess what started the ball rolling this week? Jalabal again. When Jalabal wrote that original bill, 100 plus House Democrats and some Senate Democrats came forward and voted and wrote in favor of those monthly stimulus checks, wrote the president a letter, and senators wrote the president a letter as well. Well, what did Jalabal do this week? Wrote another letter, this time to Leader Schumer and Speaker Pelosi. Here it is. And the letter, once again, was signed by dozens of legislators who have already written that they want multiple stimulus checks. And what does Jalapal's letter say? Basically says the following message: call the vote now. What are you waiting for? This is incredible, great news. So why is Jalapal saying this? Because the reconciliation process should not wait. The Republicans have not moved on their counteroffer since the start of the fourth stimulus. More about that in a second. So the Jalapal is basically saying Republicans haven't moved. The president has not moved. There's no need to do anything but reconciliation. Time to call the vote. We're done drafting the legislation. And then, as if that couldn't get any better, then came this letter. This letter was written by 7 House members to the President of the United States saying we're going to put multiple stimulus checks in there. Oh my goodness. Now, who wrote this letter? It gets even better. The people who wrote this letter are members of the House Ways and Means Committee. Who is the House Ways and Means Committee? They're the committee that writes stimulus checks. They're the committee that does stimulus like unemployment and stimulus checks. They're simply the most important House subcommittee for writing stimulus checks on the House side, if not done later on in the Senate side. And those are the people who wrote the president a letter saying they're putting stimulus checks in their monthly. Oh my God. Is Captain Obvious walking behind me on the set yet? I mean, this is absolutely incredible, great news. The incredible news continued with the president. The president of the United States late Friday said, I have a counteroffer to you, Republicans. I'm going to take $600 billion out of the fourth stimulus because it's somewhere else, which is basically a certain letter in the alphabet followed by the word U, which basically says, I'm going to reconciliation. I'm not going to move a penny because you haven't moved a penny. During the fourth stimulus negotiations, the Republicans have not moved $1 since $500 billion was the first offer, and still is their same offer 5 weeks later. The president, in turn, has not moved either. And that signals that the president is going to reconciliation. To make it even clearer, he said he's going to reconciliation. The president has told his legislators that he will have lunches with the Republicans every day up until Memorial Day weekend. And those lunches will basically be, do you have a counteroffer? No. Okay, see you tomorrow. Chicken or fish tomorrow? I don't know. I feel like lasagna. And then he'll have a lunch again tomorrow with them, and there'll be no progress. But he's made very clear to his legislators he needs to do this all the way up until Memorial Day, and then he'll stop having lunches with them, and then the vote will start. Incredible, great news. And then came this. Legislators very rarely talk about what they're legislating about until they call a vote or they have a bill finished. Well, this week, we had a very rare occurrence as legislators came forward and said, the bill is done. Why are we waiting around? Okay, we'll wait around for a few more lunches to finish, but we are ready to call the vote. And the president's message is, I'm stopping this on Memorial Day weekend. I'm stopping this right before Memorial Day weekend. As one viewer said, but that's September. No, Memorial Day weekend is the end of May. We're just a few days away from this. Or as another viewer says, he likes a lot of lunches. He must be very hungry. All right, so let's turn to what those Democrats have said now about calling the vote. Senator Kristen Gillibrand, Democrat out of New York, would ask whether they should wait another minute to call the vote. Absolutely not. Because we may lose our coalition for human infrastructure. I do not think the White House should relegate recovery to the judgment of Mitch McConnell because McConnell will not function in good faith. And then Representative Ruben Gallego, Democrat out of Arizona, says Republicans are not even being players and Democrats should just move on without them. And then came an incredible message from Representative Mark Pocan, a Democrat out of Wisconsin, who said, at what point do Republicans seriously come to the table? If Republicans don't come to the table, it doesn't mean Democrats don't serve the meal. That's referring to forced stimulus. And then finally, Senator Majority Whip Dick Durbin says Democrats ought to have a negotiation with Republicans, but Democrats need to be prepared to finish with reconciliation. That's a little bit blunt there, but very clear. And if anyone can be more blunt, it's Rocada. Representative Rocada out of California says, I think Democrats should just move forward on our bill. There we go. Wow, that is incredible. And if it couldn't get any more incredible, I have a surprise for you of what may get into forced stimulus that no one saw coming. Wow, that surprise is coming up in the second half of this recording. Also with the big money for fifth stimulus, they'll raise your benefits and add a new benchmark. I have more exciting great news. It's coming up after the commercial break. But first, if you need help with getting money for rent or utilities, reach out to the community page. The community page is in the description to this video. Open the description to this video and find a emoji of a house. It has there the community page, a link to the webpage, news.lalate.com/community. Has a picture of some cats on the top of the page. Reach out to the volunteers. They're viewers just like you. They can help you with rent, utilities, homeowners mortgage assistance, and also homeowners utilities. They're available for you to get that money. So reach out to them. And I'll be back in 60 seconds with you with incredible great news still about fourth stimulus and the big exciting news about fifth stimulus. Stay with me. See you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. The coffee is brewing, the toast is toasting. I'm here, you're here, and the bacon's missing. Well, we can't have everything. I mean, we can't have everything. We can't have bacon, but it would be nice if there was some bacon. Good morning. This is Mornings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check and fifth stimulus package. Still coming up in this recording. And I want you to subscribe. This is LA, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm next live with you in about 5 minutes from now, 10 minutes from now, with Morning Crypto. And then at 11 a.m. is noontime. In the afternoon, we come back with tape shows, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, live programs around the clock. So subscribe, 400,000 subscribers, next stop, 1 million. Help us get there. Also, like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Thank you for the nice people who have been telling other people to like the video in the live chat. Let's cut right to fifth stimulus, which heats up this fall. And that fifth stimulus, like fourth stimulus, is a two-step, 2-month process. How does it work? Let's go over the details right now. Fifth stimulus would raise up your benefit limits, then remove the asset limit, add a new one, add an inflationary benchmark, remove the marriage penalty, and remove the income exclusion. But we're learning more breaking details about how this is going to unfold this morning. Let's go over all that breaking news and how this works. First, who gets these benefits? You do. So if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or SSA, or multiple benefits, your benefits will be raised up one big time to a big new benchmark. That's what they represent, these legislators. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark. What's a benchmark? A benchmark is a number they use, or analytics they use every year to determine whether to raise your benefits or to keep them the same. They never step down. So the new benchmark would be inflation. Everyone knows what inflation is. So in December, you would get a letter saying, hi, the inflation rate is this, and your benefits are going to step up. So what we've been trying to figure out is where the inflation rate will be in December. Initially, we were told by the Federal Reserve 2%, 2.5% most. But Wall Street didn't believe that. And initially, Jeremy Siegel a week ago said that the inflation rate could be 20% in December. He's a Wharton School business professor. And while some people may not think it's that high, let's see what else we saw. We had one of the heads of the Atlanta Federal Reserve say, I'm not going to give you the inflation rate, but I'll give you the growth rate. And it's currently 4%. It's going to go to 10%. Well, 10.5%. Well, 10.5% is almost 7-8% inflation. And then in the last 48 hours, we had a series of analysts come forward and say, we're looking at maybe 4-5% to 7 or 8 inflation in December. Wow, this is incredible, great news. So let me show you how this would work. First, under fifth stimulus, they raise your benefits up one time. Then in December, you would get a letter saying, hi, the inflation rate is now this. We're going to step you up that amount. So let's say inflation is 6% in December. Then they would raise you up another 6%, and that's lifetime. It's incredible, great news. Next year, if inflation is 0, your benefits don't stay down. They step down, they stay the same. Or if inflation is 2% next year, then you would step up another 2%. Incredible, great news. So what else is in this SSI reform? They'll remove the asset limit. Great news. It's dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't hold more than about $3,000 on hand. Well, it's going to be gone. Great news in advance of getting those stimulus checks in the bank account. Then they'll get rid of the 1960s law that says you cannot work and stay on benefits. That's also great news. So $1,000, $2,000, if you want to get an income per month, you can get it potentially and also stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty. The marriage penalty has been horrible. People have not been able to get married or have gotten married and lost their benefits. So let's go over how this would work. It would basically mean if you want to get married, you would not lose benefits. And if you are married and lost them, they'll get restored. The marriage penalty would end and love would win. And love would conquer because you'd be able to marry your lifetime partner. So when would fifth stimulus start? It would start around September and be out the door about October. The benefits you would see land your account about November, and you would see the step up next January. Now, there's a lot of other items that are in fifth stimulus that in a 30-minute recording, I can't cover them. But as a member to this channel, on the membership links at the top of the chat in the pinned comment, you get access to the other items that are in fifth stimulus. There is money for single individuals. There's money for hazard pay. There's money in there for seniors, for more cheaper money for medical bills as well. So there's a lot of other items in fifth stimulus. Become a member and you get access to all the other details that are in the fifth stimulus package. Now let's go back to fourth stimulus. And wow, there's just a lot of stuff to go over about that monthly stimulus check and what else is in fourth stimulus. First, a very important reality check moment, which is early in this recording, I went over rent, homeowners assistance, utilities, and things like that. Those rental stimulus are not coming back under fourth stimulus. So I want you to get them right now. First come, first serve. You have to be a purple hawk, and get that money right now because it is first come, first serve. It won't come back. And the eviction moratorium is going away. The mortgage forbearance is going away. That's the first thing. The second one is I promised you a surprise, and wow, I'm shocked by this one. In that letter from those 7 members of the House Ways and Means Committee, they also told the president that they're going to add something else to the fourth stimulus. What is this? Federal unemployment stimulus. Wow. So I did not see this coming. This is really surprising. While they're not clear which one it is, and it's a very fluid situation still, it could be more PEUC. It could be more PUA. It may not be FPUC because remember that's voluntary. So some states may elect not to do it. But they may make PUA or PEUC mandatory. We're going to see how this one unfolds. And finally, fourth stimulus. The great news is that legislators, both Republicans and Democrats, now see that the economy is starting to reopen. The pandemic is coming to an end. People are back to work, but their bills are unpaid. They still have bills paid up. They still have bills that are unpaid, even though they're working. Husband and wives are back to work. They're back to normal. Children in school, but they have built up bills, unpaid debts from the pandemic that need to be paid off. And the way they get paid off are stimulus checks. And legislators understand that that's what stimulus checks do. And that's why the Senate proposal really makes the most sense, because it is the fastest cash infusion to get people caught up on those bills across the board. Those bills sit there, and until those bills are paid up, then the economy is not back to normal. That's why the Senate proposal really has that mindset intact. A big, fast cash infusion that will get people back to normal, that people who are back to normal in some cases for employment, or back to normal for mass mandates, or getting back to work, or kids back at school, they're still not back to normal for their bank account. Their bank account may still be in debt because of bills that piled up during the pandemic. And stimulus checks is what does it. And wow, what an incredible morning it has been. I'm really excited for you. I'm very excited for you on these 4 stimulus checks. And join me at 11 a.m. for noontime when I go over more about the breaking news, because it's still unfolding, about these monthly 4th stimulus checks, more about 5th stimulus checks. But meantime, I'm back in about 10 minutes from now with Mornings Crypto as we go over the market crash still unfolding as cryptocurrency continues to crash. It has not reached its bottom. And I was the first to report to viewers that the crash was far from over. And I was right. So join me on Mornings Crypto coming up live on air in about 10 minutes from now. But meantime, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. I want you part of this channel. Help this channel grow. Share these videos on Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram. Also, like this video and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay allied for more.